Hey everybody, my name is JS Matthews and welcome back to Writing and Role-Playing. Today, we're going to look at Battle Systems Tabletop Terrain Set, specifically the City Block Core set that I just purchased. I've been thinking of doing this video for a while. This group, Battle Systems, has so many amazing pieces of terrain. They're all made from this really thick sort of cardstock. They're two-sided, so you don't have to paint anything. And as you can see here, they have a lot of choices. Because I'm running a zombie tabletop role-playing game, I actually purchased a couple of these different sets. But if you're not interested in that, they also have these fantasy sets, which have houses and villages and even, city walls, as you're going to see as we scroll down here. But this is their website. They have a lot to choose from. And they even have stuff for sci-fi games, so if you're into Warhammer or if you're just running, a Starfinder, tabletop role-playing game, they got stuff for you too. And so I kind of figured, why not do kind of a little unboxing on camera and just show you guys what you get in these sets. So first off here, the biggest thing you get is this really nice 2-foot by 2-foot battle mat, and it's of kind of a city street, a T intersection, so you make a couple buildings. It's really modular. I love that about it. It also fits on my Ultimate Dungeon terrain perfectly, so I just set that over the top of one of them, throw it on my Lazy Susan, and it spins around perfectly and works great. The other things you get are these little plastic clips. They come in this little manila folder here, this yellow folder. And these are the clips that actually allow you to hook all the different components together. Again, you just slide those into the corners of each of these walls and you can build whatever you want. It also works with like a roof system and a floor system. So that, again, depending on how many levels you want to make, you actually can using those little clips. Here are some of the sheets you get. Again, they are front and back, and I'll kind of show you that as we go here. But you get quite a few of these exterior walls. So they have exterior on one side and then interior on the other, which is pretty cool. You're going to see me flip it over. So again, I actually really like that. I love how they actually have like an interior part to them instead of just the exterior. Comes with a lot of these little doors, and they have these little stands. And again, you can just kind of put them together yourself. And then once you pop them all out, you can just start setting them up. You don't have to paint anything. You don't have to assemble anything. I do a little bit of gluing only because you probably will on some of this stuff. But here's some of the terrain that you actually get with it. The furniture, you get TVs and beds and big armoires and vending machines and couches and, these little construction signs and a couple fence pieces. It's really cool. What you get with this is pretty amazing. Here's the rooftop pieces, so you can actually build kind of the rooftop to your building. So again, it adds a lot of verticality to your play, which is pretty cool. I also use these with my zombie side game, and they fit perfectly. And having a vertical zombie side game is pretty interesting. And I'll talk about that kind of later in the video. Here we have the rest of the stuff. We have awnings and fire escapes and stairs and stairwells and all sorts of cool stuff, and even some busted up things. And again, it gives you a lot of modularity and just a lot of variety to play with, which is really cool, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Now here I am just kind of popping them out. It's pretty easy. Just press. Just be careful. You see there I tore the corner off one. I wasn't as careful with the first one, and the rest of them I was. I don't think I got a single tear after that, but they're pretty easy to pop out. Just be a little careful so you don't get those tears. You don't want to rip off, some of the paper. It does just glue back on. So not the biggest deal. That's all I did with that. I just put a little super glue on it, smushed it down, and it was fine. But really, for what you're paying, you get a ton of stuff. So if you're not a 3D printer, if you're not into crafting your own stuff, this right here is a great set. Not only do you get the walls and the actual buildings, but you get these tables and beds and chairs and couches and filing cabinets and anything you could want. With the fantasy ones, it comes with all of this stuff as well, but in obviously a fantasy medieval format. And it's really easy to fit these together. You just slide them together. And then I use a little super glue on this because it comes with two tables. I just kind of flip them over. One side is the nice side and the other side is kind of dirty. So I just kind of do that with them. I don't really mind. It's actually made to where you can just flip it over. But personally, I like kind of super gluing this stuff together because of the way I store it. I store it pretty tight. And so I don't want things falling apart and, having to put them together when I'm getting ready for a session. But here I am putting together the armoire as well. Just slide it together. And pretty easy. There's the chair as well. Just bend it and you poke it through the back there. Again, the assembly is so easy. It makes sense. You have no need for directions. If you need them, they're online, but I didn't really need anything. It made sense. You just fold them up and put them together. Here's a couch. And again, I just layer in just a little bit of super glue on the joints just to hold them together because I don't really want them coming apart. You don't need to do that, but I would suggest it, especially on this stuff. I mean, you don't need the bed to come apart. You really don't. So you have to use a little super glue on it. But again, these just work so great. They're so modular. And for what you're paying, you're getting so many different pieces of terrain that, again, can be used in so many different ways. Here's everything you get. You get those rooftops there. You get the boxes in the back. You also get, you know, a little dumpster there, a bunch of doors, TVs, and we got the fence panels there, vending machines. Man, just a huge variety of stuff to throw onto your game. Whether you're playing, if you're playing the Fallout tabletop game, you know, the battle game, I think it's called Wasteland Warfare, this could be a really good setup for that. If you're playing Zombicide, these fit perfectly with the Zombicide tiles, so you can actually create like some walls and make it look all 3D, even add a second level and just kind of build your own buildings. I love that. That's something I do for my players, and I really enjoy it. So here's a couple of the different ways I've used it before. If you've watched my other videos, I show these off quite a bit, and I just love it. It looks so good. Here's sort of like a little supermarket area my players were fighting through, and yeah, it looks really great. There's kind of a burned down building destroyed. There's a multi-level apartment building next to the shopping mart area. And man, does it look so good. I always leave kind of one side open because, number one, it saves material so I can build more buildings. But number two, look at how cool that looks. That's so, imagine if your players came in and said, you know, and you showed them, this is what you guys are doing tonight. You're climbing up this crazy apartment building filled with zombies. That's what I told my players, and they were so excited. It really just turned out great. And it's just so cool to see this all set up on your table when you come in. Your players are really going to love this. Now, there's a bunch of different sets. Like I mentioned, here's the Gothic core set. This one I got for pretty cheap. I think I only got it for like 40 bucks, which is pretty cool. And this I use for like my bunkers and sewer systems and stuff. It works really great. It's more sci-fi-ish, but it works well. If you're sitting, you know, kind of further away from the tabletop, it works just fine. You know, those pipes, that industrial feel, it works great. Good set. I also bought this one, the Village Ruin set. I also have another one. It's called the Shantytown core set, but I didn't get the full thing. I bought it used online, so I only got... I got most of the pieces, but not all of them, and I kind of forgot to throw it in here. But that's for the fantasy one. And then I have two copies of the City Block core set because I really wanted to build a bunch of huge buildings. Here's a couple more shots. This is actually from my most recent tabletop session, and my players were kind of busting out of this underground bunker because they had been captured by some raiders, and so they were basically limited to nothing but whatever they could find. And it was a really cool session. Lots of fighting, lots of death. But I'll be doing an episode on that in the future. I also do above ground and below ground, which is pretty cool. So I build the buildings above ground, and then I use kind of the sewer system one above, and I just set them next to each other so my players can go up and down. Overall, I have only good things to say about this. The price really isn't too bad, about $100, 60 to $100 depending on what set you're going for. The core set cost me $87, and I got two of them. And all I have to say is, if you're a Zombicide fan, if you're a tabletop role-playing fan, and you're doing a modern urban game, man, this is the terrain for you. It's a good cost, and it looks great, and the storage is amazing. It's not going to take up a bunch of room. So I highly recommend this to you if you're looking for this. Anyways, thank you guys for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing some cool setups and, you know, kind of just checking out what I use and why I use it. It's kind of why I made this video, just to kind of show that off. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, maybe even subscribe. I got plenty of other stuff coming your way. I'm going to start doing monthly updates on the campaign I'm running, so you'll get to see the stories my players are creating. I'll start showing you some more of the physical things I actually make for my players. I also make custom minis for them, things like that, 3D printing. And I got all sorts of stuff coming your way. I have a video coming out on my newest book called The Whistler, which is a post-apocalyptic western, and it's really exciting about kind of like this idea of justice and revenge, and can they be the same thing or are they different? And it's pretty cool. So anyways, I can't wait to share that stuff with you guys. I wish you all the best, and of course, good luck with all your writing and role-playing. I hope you all take care now.